Hello everyone! The process involved in creating an original painted botanical sculpture is entirely different than designing with store-bought painted dried product and arranging them. It's also entirely different from arranging fresh flowers in a vase. The uniqueness of your painted botanical sculpture is completely dependent on the quality of your collection of dried material, and painting them yourself will get the most out of your own creative process. It's your eye and mind that creates the final art. You are not using something crafted. You are the one creating it. You may be inspired by understanding the process of the craft, but what I want to show you in today's video is a process of creating the art. The ownership it allows you to take during the creative process and the mindset that goes along with it. So let's talk about how to build a botanical sculpture. So first you need to prepare your ingredients, in this case the dried botanical collection. Today I'm using primarily dried tropicals with stunning exotic forms which have held up well with drying. The only element lost in this process has been the color and some minor shrinkage in size. We've already fixed the color loss with a painting process I showed in my previous quick tips tutorial. Link is in the card above. Another quick tip on painting, while you may desire painting your dried botanicals with multiple colors, I found that deciding to go monochromatic often helps define the attributes of the dried material, emphasizing its shape and texture. So the decision to use a wooden block with no opening to arrange them provides the perfect approach for building a sculpture. Base provides the weight to balance your sculpture, just like how art galleries and museums mount sculptures. You can use a flat base, a standalone resting on the floor, or on metal or marble block. The art of sculpture pivots around the physical balancing of your shapes, forms, and texture. Remember, sculpture is not about color. Now let's dive into the process of creating this one-of-a-kind painted botanical sculpture. First, paint your dried botanicals. Select your color and the finish, matte or glossy. If you are selecting light color, remember to use a primer coat to reduce the number of coats needed. You want to start out by preparing the base in scale with your imagined piece to best showcase and physically balance the sculpture you are about to create. In this case, I'm going to be leaving the base in its natural color. Just remember, if you paint the base the same color as the sculpture, it becomes visually part of the sculpture. So it's really important to keep it separate if you want the sculpture itself to stand out. Next, I want to build in an ability to flower it with fresh botanicals, so I want to actually build in the mechanics right at the beginning to be able to use it with fresh flowers if I choose to. So placement of your most coveted dried botanical to develop the focal emphasis, work through the physical balancing of that key piece. So it was really helpful to have those 3 water tubes because that gives it an extra area for the material to rest on. All other placements pivot around the focal, making your eyes travel from that point. The repurposing of these dried botanicals allows for the building of this sculpture to become a semi-permanent, long-lasting art piece. It can stand alone as art or be a holder of fresh plants and/or flowers to be considered a living sculpture. The diversity of this art piece makes this concept a great value to create, to sell, or even rent. So into this, you want to work in your linear flow that allows the eyes to travel. So that may be some of these pieces that are more linear in nature, like these fasciated willow. So you're going to design with it not like the usual in an arrangement. You're not going to create linear flow that way. You're going to design it so that it becomes part of the sculpture. So next, you want to embellish the textural surface interplay. while at the same time completing the mechanical coverage. Also physically and visually balancing the sculptural construction with a 360-degree perspective, because there is no such thing as a one-sided freestanding sculpture. Finalize your placements, making the final adjustments until you feel good about its dimensionality, balance, and textural contrast. Spin it around a few times to make sure that the balance is really great. It could be symmetrical balance or asymmetrical balance, but either way, that it feels really good and solid and secure and very, very physically balanced. Glue each joint with hot glue gun. Some spots that need further securing may require bind wiring in addition to the hot glue. Make sure it's all very secure so that it's really permanent. And now to finish, apply a final coat of paint to fill any missed spots and to complete the monochromatic botanical sculpture. So how and what plants or fresh flowers to add to this sculpture is your choice. If you're interested in seeing how I flowered a sculpture just like this one, I've linked a recent IGTV live demo which I completed the look with some fresh flowers. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. I hope you have fun exploring the broad range of possibilities that you can create. Remember the steps. Create the art, and then flower it.